What's that sound?
What's that sound? What's that sound? It's the
MOBcast. This was not coordinated. Yes, that makes me so happy.
This is what I bring to the table.
Fuck you. Fuck that pig. Fuck.
There's Matt. He's on the screen.
Well, he does. So, like, it was 8. So, I think it was like 8 pork chops. Like, 8 really nice looking pork chops for like $10. And it was like 4 pounds of meat.
They must have been trying to get rid of that. Holy cow.
Well, no, like, I went, when I was there a week and a half ago, they had, it was some big ass cut of steak. It was like it was like a 2-pound steak. And it was like 4 pounds of steak for $20.
Wow.
I mean, like, amazing.
That's a lot.
I got a pound and a half it's pretty normal, but I got a pound and a half of lunch meat for it was like $12. It's usually a little more, like if I get Boar's Head at Publix. But this place is fucking, it's the tits.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Giant
Pasture-raised eggs. Giant Eagle sucks cock.
Yeah, they do.
Giant Eagle is literally the worst supermarket there is.
It's all about
Aldi's. Themselves
Aldi's.
like the nicer places, and their stuff is not as good.
Except, I will say, there's a couple market districts that I've been in.
I'm a big fan of their bagels, so I don't know.
That is true. They have good bagels.
A lot of places have good bagels.
We love their bagels. Oh, frick.
Be right back.
No, I don't disagree with you. It's just, I mean, around here, we're limited to pretty much a Walmart, a Giant Eagle. There's a super bougie, like, not all natural, but it's more expensive grocery store. I forget the name of it. I don't think it's a big chain, but...
Then I understand. I take back what I said.
And there's yeah.
Because, like, at home, there's, like, Giant Eagle, and then there's... I mean, you haven't been to one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember we've been to
Heinen's.
Yeah. No, we don't have anything like that.
Heinen's is nice. So Heinen's is like a similar price, a little bit, probably like maybe 10% more than Giant Eagle, but like the produce is significantly better quality.
Yes, and there's a meat market right down in our town that's like really good meat. So if we need something good, that's where that is. There's like a Whole Foods in Wexford, but that's like really out of the way. So and there's probably an Aldi's somewhere, but
Aldi is fits
nowhere near me.
This could be a good topic on its own, just grocery stores.
And I love Walmart, but I do not get groceries there unless I'm stopping by and get something like cereal or, some random crap.
Nothing beats the Alliance Wally World.
Oh, Emily was terrified to go in there.
That's the right answer.
Yeah. She's like, if I went to college here, like alone, I would not want to go here after like 6 p.m. I said, you're right.
So like that, like in college, like, so if I lived like somewhere like that was like, those were the options were Giant Eagle or Walmart.
Yeah.
I'd probably go to Walmart.
Really?
Because I think the quality is pretty similar and Walmart's cheaper.
I can get good bagels at Giant Eagle, so I'm going to go with there.
That goes.
And they sell booze there too.
Booze? Oh, they sell booze everywhere here in Indianapolis.
Well, not in PA, they don't, but that's besides the point. PA.
Congrats on your first professional volleyball win.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeet.
And happy birthday.
How was the B-Day?
It was awesome. I had like 18 people going floating down the river. Actually, the day after my birthday. It was all a bunch of volleyball people. My parents came over.
Oh, nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Everyone was
awesome,
fucked
dude.
up.
Sounds like a blast. 26.
So you're past. So you no longer. Well, I guess you could technically. It would be considered a quarter life crisis if you had one in the next few years. But we're past that point where it can really be considered a quarter life crisis. It's just like an early life crisis.
That's why I started flying.
I feel like that's allowed
You're almost
plus or minus
30.
a few years because you're like 3. You don't really think about anything until you're 10 years old. But yeah, you're getting up there, man. You're closer to 30. Michael's next.
I'm telling everyone that I'm lying about my age now. I'm still 24.
We're 26. It kind of blows
Yeah,
my
it's
mind.
so weird.
College is gonna be. I won't talk about it, but it's going by quick, and before you know it, we're just gonna be 30 plus.
Shut the fuck up.
Seriously.
I just
being
went car
honest.
shopping today with Julia, and that excited me.
Oh, I was gonna say, what do you need a car for? What happened to the Jeep?
No, dude, you like those memes, like things that excite you when you get older are 100% real. Like me and my girlfriend both just got super excited because there's thunder outside and we want to go watch the storm.
Okay, that's at any age though. Whimsical.
I get excited to sweep the floor with a Swiffer. You know, I mean, it's just.
Oh, yeah. After we were done, after we were done watching the dog, all I wanted to do was clean the fucking apartment and make it nice again.
I think a beer just tastes better now, than it did, on a Saturday warm beer at 11 p.m. Now, don't get me wrong, that was great. But since we're always so busy and, you always kick back at the end of the day, sometimes with a nice drink.
No more.
I'm in med school, so
Did
No,
anybody?
I'm not in med school.
nearly in med school.
Hopefully
Did
soon to
anybody-
be, maybe
precursor
possibly.
to med
I
school.
sure hope so.
You're in school, so
didn't.
that's more than.
Well, let y'all know, man. Today is the minimum of effort. Do not give up. Do not feel like you're tired. When you tired, think of last year and think of that record. Every time I get tired or I think I can't go no more, I think of that record. Last year wasn't it. That ain't us.
Well, I just want to tell you guys, we are live. It's nice. I feel like this is good bicker, good chat before we even start an episode.
Yeah, that Jamal Williams clip in there.
Oh, dude, it's been going for the last like 5 minutes.
Oh, all right.
So
How we doing?
What's
going
I think that's
on?
pretty neat. If we have some good talk before sometimes, and might as well wait for Brad and such. But
Well, I got a little bit of a topic.
bring it up. Yeah, we got current stuff going on. What's up?
You know the game. I think I sent it to you guys the multiverses. The new game looks like Smash Bros.
Yeah,
Have you guys looked at it at all?
I actually want to get
I've
it on
been-
Steam because it's in beta right now.
It's free to play.
yeah.
and I've been playing it. It's
do
actually
you like it?
pretty damn close to Smash.
What is it with?
It's
It's
DC,
like all-
Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
Batman,
yeah.
Looney
That's right.
Tunes.
Yeah. Okay, all right. You were talking about a while ago. I was like, bro, I've been fucking in the weeds.
I've actually
They put
heard
Shaggy in
someone
there.
compare it to like it's pretty fun. Like it may not have the aesthetic or the straight up mechanics of Smash, but people
It's
have said it's a lot
pretty
of fun.
close.
Yeah.
It's like the platforming, jumping, the way you approach the game all feels exactly like how I played Smash Bros. Like if you play like how we played Smash Bros, you guys pick that up, you'll understand it in a second. Like
Yeah.
down Y, down B, all. I mean, obviously the controller changes, but it's all the same stuff. Up airs,
Is
like
there a,
there's no
is there a
Pikachu.
Thunderdome? Is there a
There's no-
Thunderdome?
No, but there's Rick and Morty map.
That's awesome.
What does that even look like?
It's what are they called? The Cromulans, the big ass head people.
Oh yeah.
It's based off that episode.
They have a new their season 6 comes out sometime this fall, I think.
I'm excited.
Sick.
I watched Solar Opposites, the new season.
Oh, I haven't.
It's
Is it
okay.
good?
Well, I've never heard of that.
It's pretty
it's
good.
funny.
The same people that make Rick and Morty do Solar Opposites, and it's just like wacky. It's
Is
about
it another like
aliens.
adult cartoon?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Cool.
Like
It's the
a
same
lot more
animation
crude.
style.
Right, it's like just
Yeah.
like it's just another show like it. Cool.
Their best
scary.
storyline is a bunch of people
In the
miniaturized
wall,
in a wall.
yeah.
Wall. It's honestly hype. It's like a whole separate show within the show, and it's very good.
I will say, I don't know how big of fans you guys are of like the Alien and Predator franchises, but
I wanna see that.
I
I
just
wanna
watched.
Prey.
I just
Yeah.
watched Prey. That shit
Oh, it's
kicked
out?
ass. Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
Hulu. It was really
Oh
good.
shit! Like free?
Yeah, if you have Hulu, it's
I'll
just
be-
streaming. It's not in theaters, which is pretty
I'll be
pretty
watching that.
interesting. It's a banger.
Interesting.
It's from when it's the first hunt, right? Like when
Yeah, they say
the
it's like a
Native
prequel, like
Americans-
300 years ago. The first Predator came to Earth.
Oh, that's cool.
I think
Nope
that kind of
was
reminds me of the
interesting.
original. But sorry,
Nope
Mike,
looked
go ahead.
good. Did you like it?
Oh yeah,
It was-
yeah.
It was, so I said this in the text, and I will reiterate it. Like, and realistically, I would probably watch Get Out again, but I would never need to see Get Out again.
Yeah.
And still, I'd tell you, like, that was a great movie. But, like, maybe in 10 years or whatever. What I would say about Nope is, like, I'd rather just, like, look at the Wikipedia page and, like, read the plot synopsis and be like, oh, yeah, that's what that movie was, and I don't need to watch it again. It was super well shot. He's just an amazing director. The storyline was interesting. I wish it like ended differently, I guess, because like basically at one point in the movie you like figure out what's going on, and then like I'm not gonna say anything more. So
there you go.
But yeah, it's just like I mean it was good. It was really well shot. The acting was good. The storyline was interesting. I guess I just wasn't an enormous fan of like the ending and like kind of how stuff got wrapped
Sure.
up, but it was
How was my man Steven Yeun? I love him. Was he good?
Oh, he was really good. He was really good.
That's good. That's also a good tie-in to this episode. Aliens, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I can't talk
Nathan.
about it because then that would be giving away major plot
I know
points.
there are aliens in there. That's all I know.
Nathan, Westworld new season.
Yo, okay, so Emily and I are on. We're in the middle of 5.
Okay.
There was just like that big twist.
Oh yeah.
Or like
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it kind of hit him, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And now
I
we see
think-
the other side of things flipped.
I think that they are giving us the story out of order. That's what I'm taking from it, and I think it's obviously going to come together at the end.
Oh,
I
it's
think-
getting you like you told me like when you've been watching it, but we just like binge like the first 4 or 5. I think
Yeah.
there's a couple new ones out. When you told me like it's good, like it's getting really good.
It's like it starts off, and you're like, "What happened the last?"
Oh
and
my
then, like,
gosh,
yeah.
Emily and I
It's
were
like
so
the-
confused because we couldn't remember if he was an AI, this guy, or he wasn't. Because we were trying to
Yeah.
catch up in the last because we watched it like 2 years ago.
That's the issue with that show too. Like I watched them every time the new season came out. Like I binged them like I do Stranger Things.
Yeah,
And like this season, I've had issues like remembering
the
what the hell actually
storyline
happened.
is so complex, which is really great because I like it a lot. We really enjoy it. We're like, well, we don't remember everything, but it's really good. So,
And they give you just enough, I think,
They
from
do.
the last season.
Yeah.
When they showed the kind of the finale of the last season in one of the episodes in this current season, and I'm like, oh yeah, that giant thing that they
Yeah.
did to the thing, and that it,
I
there
definitely
he
feel
is.
like
It is.
last thing on
If he's
it.
wearing a tinfoil hat, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
cry.
go
But I'm
crazy.
sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. No, this final thing on it's like I feel like I didn't love season 3. I feel like season 3 is basically a big build up for
Yeah,
this season.
I agree.
But
I can't imagine the money they spend. Like everything is
Oh,
just
yeah.
so perfect.
it's
like,
HBO shows they're so good for many
Yeah.
different reasons. But here he is. He has
Here
joined
he
us. The
is.
lights are off.
Hey.
Welcome, Brad.
Hey, Dad.
Aliens. Do you believe in them? Are they real? Tell us right now.
we are them.
This is the MOBcast, Brad. Welcome.
Hi. Pleasure to be here.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Good.
Wait a minute. That's not the real Brad.
He's gone.
Imposter. I called his bluff.
That was
immediately.
perfectly executed.
You got to look out for those
But-
agents, the feds.
He's
back.
back.
They're trying to
Alright,
censor us.
That's the real Brad.
This is Brad. He's
Oh, wow.
he's returned from outer space.
Welcome to InfoWars. No,
Oh my god.
all the frogs are gay.
Welcome to the MOBcast. This is us, guys. Brad, we've been
Jordan, why do
talking.
you have a plunger on your head?
What?
Why do you have a toilet plunger on your head?
It keeps out the chemtrails and the 5G.
Oh, okay.
Ah, yes. I am also microchipped, being watched by Biden at the moment. Because all things make sense. Well, today, the mob is talking many different theories and conspiracy theories and any wild and wacky kind of things we can think of. So if anyone wants to just dive off of that, I mean, we're all wearing, well, two of us are wearing tin hats to protect from many
it makes
things.
the voice. Makes the voices in my head go away. I'm not medicated at all. Well,
proud
shit.
of you.
Dive right in, I guess. So conspiracy theories are interesting to me, and I always bounce between that's a load of BS or is that what they want you to think? You know, because why else would you try to invalidate a conspiracy theorist unless they're actually right and the person behind the conspiracy wants to keep it covered up? I feel like recently there's been a lot of things that have been uncovered, good and bad, that make me think, you know, maybe the world is a little bit more complicated. The Navy or the Army just said, you know, there are UFOs. They didn't say aliens, but they said there's UFOs out there. Not the Navy. So yeah, that's cool. I want to believe.
I do agree. It's like the thing they say UFOs are real. They say something's in the sky. We don't know what it is. So that's what we classify it as. And I do like to think that there is more out there. There is. I think there is. I don't.
You're right. It's beyond the ice wall. It's beyond the 2 mile high ice wall that
It's beyond the
surrounds.
Mughal.
The Earth is flat. That's a fact. Like we know that. So
Just keep sailing. Right off the edge of the...
you're not going to fall off. You're going to hit the ice wall, and there's pyramids, and then there's more land, and it's basically like it's like Minecraft. It just keeps going.
Okay, now you
So-
got... Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I was thinking the same exact
Okay,
thing, Brad.
Yeah, exactly.
See if he comes back here. But Michael, you
Yes,
got me
information.
thinking, since you mentioned the pyramids, I don't believe that was just done. He's back!
I'm going through it, okay?
Brad is on
Yeah, it's
10
gone.
megabits loading here.
Oh, there he goes again.
I hate everything. Do you think we've done any experiments on aliens?
Do you think they've done any experiments on us?
Yes and
No,
yes.
do you think they've been here, and do you think we've done experiments on them? Do you think
We haven't done
Area
shit to
51
them.
and S4 and Bob Lazar are real?
Oh, Bob Lazar is 100% real. That man's a genius. He put a jet in a Honda Civic. But to answer your question,
True.
I think if we were diving into it, the smart aliens are doing experiments on humans, and we're just kind of like a
Yep.
trial run for whatever. Like they might be testing medication on us for all we know, or something. Like O2 is actually something they need for their life. Who knows? We got the backwater aliens that crashed into the Mexican desert. We got the swamp benders.
The rednecks.
The swamp
redneck aliens?
A bunch of high school kids on spring break just crashed in the Mexican desert, and then we cut them up to figure out what they're made of.
I've often
Wow,
thought that,
that's dark.
So, our solar system in the Milky Way galaxy is located like if the center is like here, we're located on like the very outer edge, right, of one of the spirals. Like,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that Earth is like the Alabama of the galaxy.
I was
Like,
gonna
we're
say,
just in the middle of nowhere. So like we're by all these
Yeah.
swamp people.
And they'll look down on us and they're like, what the are they doing over there? You know, it's like, we got coronavirus, World War III, politicians being controlled. It's a whole thing.
Coronavirus. Some people think that coronavirus is a conspiracy.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I mean,
It is a wacky place, man. I was driving behind somebody last week. I shit you not. I like a big letters on their rear view thing. It said COVID is a hoax.
Oh no.
It gets me so much. Oh,
Do you happen to drive by
ouchie.
him? Get a look at him?
it was a woman.
Well, I was gonna say, was it a
Surprising.
So of course,
white
I mean,
male?
yeah. It was, oh man, I'm not going to be politically incorrect and say something, but
That's probably
was,
for the best.
I think I know. Goodness me.
But no, so another conspiracy theory that was very popular probably 4 or 5 years ago is that birds are not real.
Oh, come on, let's move on. Next one, please.
No, let me
They're
spit my spew.
Pigeons aren't.
Let me spit my spew, okay? Now I'm
Go ahead.
referencing Emily, MLA format here, because she had an experience. She was outside taking the dog out to go potty, right? And she saw a bird. Okay, this is a true story. She came inside and told me she saw a bird just stop midair, and she said it seemed to have just froze like in its place and just flapping its wings like a hummingbird, right? And it was for like a prolonged time of like, I don't know, she said like 15, 30 seconds. She said it was the weirdest thing she's ever seen. Now, not to debunk this, but we talked to a couple family members and they're like, well, it was probably just caught up on a wind gust or something like that. So this theory that birds aren't real is basically this theory that birds are U.S. surveillance drones created by our government to spy on us, because everyone wants to know what Michael's doing in his backyard with his Jeep.
Illegal things.
Is it a hoax? Is it real?
I've never seen a pigeon sleep. You ever seen a pigeon sleep?
No.
I've seen them recharge
No?
in their charging docks. Why do you think they're on power lines all the time? They're getting energy. All birds aren't real.
It's like Pikachu just charging up.
Australia lost a war to emus, and you're telling me they're building? That's a test run.
Okay, Australia is like a.
You know what? I want to take a pause for a second. So the birds on the wire thing just made me think of, you know, that Pixar short with all the birds?
Yes.
You know the big one? Yeah, so I'm officially saying it. Michael, you have no say in the matter. That's your spirit animal. And I think that's...
I can see that.
I think that fits perfectly. I don't know about everybody else.
Call me fat.
No,
I like
not
that.
at all. I think you're hot.
Back to conspiracies. I forgot
Sorry.
to take my schizo meds today. Yeah, birds aren't real.
Meds aren't real. You don't need
Hey
them.
man, at least we're not like what's his face, that guy who just got hit with $50 million for saying that.
Alex Jones.
Look,
Yeah,
Alex
uh-huh.
Jones.
Moron.
He's
Fucking
right
idiot.
about some things.
He's a moron.
Now,
That's
the-
what he is.
The Sandy Hook thing.
He's a moron.
He was
Clearly wrong about that.
he was right about Bohemian Grove. I'll say that.
Yes, he was.
That is true.
Is that the rich people? And they're like,
Yeah, where they worship
There's like-
owls and they do unspeakable things to each other, and probably, well, I can't say that because they're listening, but you know.
You could be
I don't
like
think-
Bill Gates with what's his face with the Epstein stuff, and they're like, "Well, how do you explain your relationship with him?" And Bill Gates is just like, "Well, he's dead now, so we don't need to talk about it."
Is he though?
People are like, "What do you mean you didn't answer the question?" He's like, "He's gone. We don't need to talk about it." Like, he was a child molester and all these things. Like, what do you mean you were on his plane 17 times? He's like, he's gone. It's fine. Like, we don't have to worry about it.
That sounds like a guy
That's
that
like
has
a-
something to hide.
Bill Gates has hundreds of things to hide.
Bill Gates had a clause in his marriage agreement that allowed him to spend one weekend with a certain ex a year.
That is so strange. And we're
Tom
back.
Cruise is a Scientologist, and I think that the Church of Scientology has something to hide, because I think their religion is right and 100% correct, and Xenu is going to come back one day with his soul catchers, and he's going to drop us all into a volcano, and then our souls are going to rise up, and we're going to go, and we're going to possess these monkeys, and that's going to become humanity, because that's what they believe. And
Well, you know
I
how
don't think...
Scientology stays... Sorry, finish.
That's it. It's just I don't want to discriminate against religions here, but I think it's more of a cult and less of a religion.
No, the reason that
my opinion,
Scientology
you're
is a
correct.
thing is because they get so basically somebody, like, for the most part famous people, and that's the culty part, is so like they'll have something they're trying to hide from the general public, and then for instance, like, there's rumors, and not that I think there's anything wrong with it, because there's definitely not, but there are rumors that there are certain like actors that are gay who like wish they weren't gay. And so the Scientology people are like, well, we can make you not gay. Like, basically, like, we'll help you pray out the gay. And so what they do is they get these people to, like, admit whatever it is that they don't want to admit to the general public. And then they have it on tape, and they're like, all right, we got you now. And they just blackmail them into supporting it. And then it's a cult.
It's just awful.
Well, you
That's
know
just
what?
horrible.
The thing about a cult is you make more money as a leader, but you have more fun as a follower. As one man once said. That's really interesting. I did not know that kind of deep lore of. I mean, I know kind of the basics of that. What if you want to call it a religion? Sure.
It's
I think it's recognized as religion.
I feel like it's just a group for
Thing.
rich people to gather and talk about stuff, but I don't know.
Well,
I'm not
you know
as well
what's in
versed
here?
in it. So
Kool-Aid. Just kidding.
Drink the
It's highly
Kool-Aid, man.
highly fluoridated tap water, and that's used
just
for mind
gasoline.
control. Gasoline is controlled to sell more cars. Global warming is fake.
That jump. Oh yes, it's so our summers just keep getting longer and hotter. Yep, it's so fake.
I'm so sick of
bring
it.
that up.
I'm so sick of it right now.
I'm
I
terrified
bring that
to
up
have
though
children.
because somebody on Facebook who I will not name, it's just a boomer. They were trying to. So I guess in like agricultural factories, they
I love how
they
Jordan, how far away Jordan is.
just sitting there. But so in like I don't know, like factory farming, not animals but plants, they have like these machines that create more carbon dioxide because plants like to eat carbon dioxide. And they were like, on this person on Facebook was like, well, if global warming is so bad, why do we have machines that give it to these plants and then they grow 3 times as good? I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, you're dumb. Like, that hurts my brain a little bit.
I'm going to get a snack. I will be right back. Sorry, I'm famished.
That's
I'm
okay. Make sure there's no processed.
Anybody
food in
want
there.
anything? I wish I could get. I'm gonna get a cookie, but I wish I could get
Okay.
everybody a cookie.
Get your
There
cookie.
you go.
I'm going to.
Cookie.
Go get the cookie. You know, a few weekends
Nice.
back, we were at some cabin trip up in Hawkins Hill, over in Hawkins Hill, Ohio, and
Great place.
yeah, no, it was a good time. And someone had bought this canister of cookies, right? A box of cookies. I ate way too many in like a 24-hour period. I think it was a box of like, it's like tiny. It's probably like 24 to 36 cookies. I want to say I ate probably at least half of those in like 16 hours. It's just so hard because they were so tiny, and it's like one bite, and you put it down. I regret
You
nothing,
think-
but
There's nothing
So
better
do you
than
think that has
binging out.
anything to?
what?
Do you
Brad?
think that has anything to do with the things that they put in it to make you want to eat more and more, like Doritos
Cocaine.
and Oreos?
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely.
Do you think
it's
that they're
crack.
trying to manipulate us through what we're eating?
Crack cocaine. That's what's in all that food. It's addictive.
They do. I mean, like that actually is like how
No,
they get
you-
you to like keep eating Doritos and stuff.
Oh, is
Wait,
it?
for real?
With crack?
Are we all addicted to crack?
Oh yeah, of course, always.
No, as I told Michael this morning, coffee is greater than crack, in my personal
is.
opinion, and maybe more addictive. Probably not.
Every time I phase out, I'm just gonna come back screaming.
That's going to be every 5 minutes.
The CIA is attempting to censor Brad, something he has done.
I know things, and they don't want me saying anything.
What do you know? Tell us. I
So
mean, go ahead. Oh, he froze again.
He's faking
Okay.
that.
He's
He's
faking it.
faking that.
Yeah.
Fake ass.
That's pretty
Mouth
good.
moved a little bit.
That was pretty good.
That was solid.
pretty good.
I gotta admit.
There you go.
Well, do you guys think? I know we talked about it a little bit last time in our last episode. RC, go check it out. That's a conspiracy theory of its own, but it's not
Big
because
one.
it will happen.
Right.
We just don't know when.
It's facts.
Yeah, but what we did touch on Yetis and like big feets and of those
Big foots.
They're real. They're real.
big toes. Do we think they're real?
Oh yeah. Who just walks around a forest in a fur suit?
You can't tell me you
mean,
don't have anything better to do.
Somebody wants to be famous.
I mean, remember that one year we were in college when like the thing that year was to walk around as a clown and go like scare people?
Holy
Yeah.
shit! What was wrong? Yeah,
Remember that?
that was.
And like some of them had knives.
Oh,
like,
they like
Love
killed
that.
people,
I was
man.
a big fan of that.
That is.
It
Holy
made Halloween
cow.
spooky. It made
It
Halloween
did.
spooky. It was nice. It was good.
was it even
Around
around
people would
Halloween?
absolutely
Yeah.
shit their pants at the Spooky Raiders thing when those zombies would jump out at people.
Oh my gosh, dude, that place
Wow.
did not hold back. They were ruthless. What was that?
Remember, we had a clown on campus too. You guys remember that? It was like a weekend.
I do.
did.
They like
Because
sent.
I-
Didn't they send out an alert or something?
Yeah, they said there was someone on campus. Everyone was freaking out.
Killer clown. Speaking of alerts that you get from your phone, because the government has, that power to do that. Do you remember a couple years ago, it might have been, no, it was when we were in college, when Hawaii got that alert that said
Oh,
nuclear
yeah.
missile. So my buddy,
Oh, yeah.
Jack, the one that he comments on Instagram, the only non-robot that comments.
Shout out to
Good
Jack.
guy. Shout out to Jack. He went to school in Hawaii, and he got that on his phone in Hawaii. And like I can't speak to how he felt, but it probably wasn't good. But my question is,
Yeah.
do you think someone pressed the wrong button, or do you think there was an missile inbound and they just shot it
And-
down?
They covered
No.
it up by saying it was an accident.
Exactly.
I wondered that too.
It's interesting. I
So
don't know.
why would they
nuts.
want to
That's
target
tough.
Hawaii?
It's a big
North
neighborhood.
Korea's. Oh, that's true.
It's isolated too.
Well, not only that is it's like the closest thing to
It is.
like it hits the U.S., but they don't have to go all.
And he's gone.
all the way to the states. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Finish his sentence.
It's the same thing that happened in World War II with Pearl Harbor. I mean, was Hawaii.
No, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that
you
was
got it, you got
our
a point
fault.
there.
we had radar and they ignored it. They knew it was going to happen. Well, they thought it
I
was
don't
a
think I
glitch.
don't think they knew it was going to happen. I think
Well,
if they
they-
knew it
they
was
s-
going to happen, they would have done something.
I think
about
it was a little
I
bit
don't
of a
know, man.
surprise.
I think they didn't think that what it was Japan, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a biology major, not a history major. The Nazis and the Russians were the problem, not the fucking Japanese.
Well, we
So-
actually fought them.
they
We fought
were
them
an issue.
We
pretty
were
well.
We were in the Pacific for a long
If
time.
it wasn't,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the Nazis, there would be no World War II. All right.
That's
oh,
yeah.
there goes Brad. Okay, whatever. So if they knew, if they knew it was going to happen, they would have stopped it. I mean, they wouldn't have
I
let
don't know,
all those.
man.
I mean,
I mean,
but
maybe
you're thinking.
maybe they just,
Michael, go ahead.
maybe all those ships were empty, and we let them blow up the old ships to then spur an even greater war support, which ultimately ended in the destruction of 2 Japanese cities. Which I don't think nukes should ever be used in war ever again or ever. But I don't know. I'm
Unleashing
kidding.
the power of the
Joke.
sun.
Pearl Harbor. I'm not
No.
that I was there, but Pearl Harbor happened, and it was
Clearly,
not good.
by the
yes,
way,
it's a terrible
I
tragedy.
saw the
Yeah.
first Oppenheimer trailer,
Oh,
like teaser
that
trailer. It
looks-
goes with no.
That looks good.
Oh my god, dude, that shit looks amazing.
That cast is packed, man. Star-studded.
And the memes, the Homelander memes, like when Christopher Nolan actually gets to drop a nuke, and when they actually, that's the best, dude.
I've seen that. That's awesome.
Homelander memes are the best.
They are. Ah, love the boy.
But
No
conspiracy
spoilers. Haven't
theories
seen last episode.
about acts of war that got us into wars. There's a lot of conspiracies about 9/11. that I don't know if you guys want to touch it all, but
I don't know if we want to go there.
I personally,
I mean, I think we can.
yeah,
Yeah, go for it.
Now watch this drive.
we're not gonna be disrespectful or anything like that. Like most of us
Right.
remember, we're one of the last generations of people that were like youngest that will remember it. But
Yeah.
have some
I don't know,
memory.
I've always thought it's really interesting. Like I don't know if it's even true. I never researched it, but the people that own the World Trade Center at the time took out a life like insurance on the building.
Ridiculous
not too long before it
amount of
happened.
money on it.
Yeah, and then the way it fall, the buildings fall, and the fact that jet fuel shouldn't burn steel beams. I don't know.
So
I
as
can
far
see
as
Red
the-
Bush
Bush
doing
did
that.
9/11.
Yeah.
I
get
mean,
it.
Epstein in his office had a picture of George Bush with playing with a toy airplane, and there was 2 Jenga sets that were falling down. Look it up. Swear to God. It
Okay,
exists.
well, what I'll add
That's
to this
quite-
conversation is like the crazy, oh gosh, like all the cartoons that like,
Johnny Bravo.
yes, Johnny
Yeah.
Bravo and I
And
think
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, like they had
Yeah.
some like depiction of roughly of the event. Yeah, people think a lot, sometimes too hard.
But
I
it's so
just-
crazy. Like how? Like I don't understand how like cartoons like that can just be so. I don't know, just so spot on.
That's a great
Maybe
segue.
it could,
into
honestly, it could be a coincidence. Now, hear me out. This is getting deep. Okay. Who remembers Osmosis Jones? That show?
Yeah.
That movie?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
So in one of I forget when it came out, but let's just say the year 2000, just as like remember that year. So they had, how like all like the living things and like the beings in that were all like weird little wacky creatures. And the
Germs.
animators, yeah, but the animators, if you in one of the frames, they put in one of them holding something that looks like Pikachu. Okay, it's for real. So it was supposed to apparently represent something. I think it's called, Matt, you might know this. It's a protein called like picachurin or something, and it's something in your brain, I believe. And they named it that because it does something very quickly in your body. But it was discovered after Osmosis Jones came out. Therefore, they just threw Pikachu in there randomly and got lucky
shit.
that they just yeah, right. And
Wow.
see, they put Pikachu in there.
Whoa.
And,
What?
Wait,
Yeah,
show
and
it
they got
again, show it again. I'm looking at the. Oh, nice.
So that's a conspiracy theory in itself.
Never saw that.
Or maybe that's just where a timeline separated. And
Who's
who
the
knows?
best
That's-
actor in that film? Is it Bill Murray or is it Chris Rock? He's the main character, right?
I can't even remember. I just
And Michael,
Pikachu
you're right.
means-
It came out in 2001.
Ah, okay. Well, they discovered that protein after Osmosis Jones came out. So one of the animators is probably a time traveler. I heard a theory that the lottery exists to catch time travelers. Think about it. Yeah.
It's always
Okay,
weird looking
okay.
people who win though.
Did you see that
Yeah.
gal or
Rules
girl?
of
Guy
time
or,
travel, and that's one of them, dude.
yeah.
What?
Oh, I was gonna say, did you see the person who won the lottery? They like 800 million of it went back to the IRS. Isn't that so
Oh, yeah.
stupid?
What?
Mhm.
800?
It was like 1.2 billion. He or she, I don't know who won it. Only
They're like 400.
only like 400 some. I mean, it's more money than I'll ever see in my entire existence ever. But
I think
Also, you know how that works, right? So it's
yeah, they
not.
either do like a payment plan or you can get one lump
Yeah.
sum.
So, yeah, so
Yeah.
the lump sum
It's
is not
stupid,
$1.2 billion. So it makes realistically. So it was probably more like 800 million, and they got 400. It's
That's
like
still
when you get that
50%.
amount of money, it gets taxed at like 50%. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's
So
so
then-
taxed extremely.
Realistically,
it's almost
it
like
makes-
it's almost like that the people that actually do have billions of dollars, they should get taxed at 50%, but no, they get taxed at like 1% because loopholes.
Or if at all.
Michael, it's called white collar crime, and if you can do it, I mean, like,
hey man,
No.
look,
Ad.
bad.
crime
I mean,
is
it's-
that.
no.
Technically, it's bending the rules. It's not breaking it. I mean,
What,
Like-
I
That
mean,
shouldn't be allowed.
I'm just saying, like, if your bottom line was that much and you could pay somebody to do it, like, you would do it too. Like, everybody's
here's-
like, oh,
So
there's
if
these
I pay
terrible
somebody,
people.
never mind.
Like, I wouldn't want to pay the government either. What the fuck are they doing? I mean, look at the shit that's going on. It's fucking terrible.
They are paying the
The-
government to
just
just pay off the
today.
politicians.
Today is August 8th, 2022. I saw something that, like, Republicans stopped some bill on, like, insulin
Yeah.
being affordable. I mean, like, what the fuck's going on?
They're-
It's like one
Republicans
thing after
voted
another.
that
I
off.
wouldn't pay the fucking government either.
No. I
well,
mean, I get
all
that.
right.
here's a,
There's my rant.
Do you think the government's run by lizard people?
No.
oh, dude, Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard.
It might be because
We
they're
know that.
complete morons and they have no empathy for human life. So potentially, yes, Brad. Yeah.
Have you
Have you ever seen those videos where they like their faces get all jumbled up, like their camo isn't working right?
Well,
I'm
have you
not.
seen?
I
Have you
believe it.
seen that in the last couple months, it looks like Joe Biden has been replaced 4 times by like body doubles or something?
Why
for
so
real,
many
look-
times?
Because I guess the robot
Because he's so old.
he keeps dying and they keep reviving him.
He keeps falling off of bikes.
The clones, the clones are
God.
dying.
Just get
Kind
him
of
off
that
the
same-
bike.
Kind of off that same thought process. I was in the break room. I kind of texted you guys about this the other day with a bunch of guys from work, and this one dude just brings up the fact that it was Kevin Hart. He said he confirmed said he has clones of himself, and that's why he's able to do so many movies.
What?
And this dude was 100% behind him. He's like, yes, clones are real. Then he went into quantum mechanics and ultimate realms. I was like, where is this guy
Whoa,
coming
Are you
from?
working
no
at?
way.
Jordan, where are you working at?
It did part-time at a warehouse.
Stark Industries.
No offense to you, because I know that you're like doing the whole flight thing. Anybody working in a warehouse talking about quantum physics shouldn't be talking about quantum physics.
The conversation
Even
I've
that.
heard.
You need
Wait, what's that
two advanced
movie?
degrees. 2 advanced degrees to talk about quantum physics.
What's
Yeah.
that movie? What's that movie where the janitor who played Matt Damon or is Matt Damon solves that math problem on the
So
board, but
it's
he's the
called being a
janitor?
genius, and yes, you're not wrong, but those are like one in a
Good Will
billion.
Hunting. Well,
One of the best movies ever made. Yeah,
Who knows?
Pulp
Who
Fiction.
knows? Oh Jesus!
that's a great one too. But
A couple years ago, I was at Pittsburgh's art festival, and I'm talking to one of the local artists who, have a conversation because he was an engineer and then decided to be an artist. So respect, I like
For
that.
him.
And so he making sense, talking to me about art and engineering and stuff. And then he starts going off the rails. And this is kind of his thought process. And I don't mean to laugh, but he believed, and he's telling me all this, that, man, we're in this realm where, like, we're just like a fetus, man, like in the stars, and like it was basically like the plot of 2001: A Space Odyssey mixed together with like a bunch of psychotropic drugs in that guy's brain. It didn't make any sense to me, but he's saying that, like, I think that we're so much more. We're just in the beginning stages of like what humanity will become, and what we can see in reality is not reality. And I was like, cool, man. I met you 5 minutes ago, but all right. Like, it blew my mind a little bit. Not gonna lie, he was a cool guy. Interesting people.
Can
No, I don't
we
think-
cut that as if Michael wasn't talking from someone else's perspective, as if that was his own original thought?
please do that.
Try this
Can we
one.
talk
on for
about, like,
size. Oh, go
A
ahead.
legitimate, like, not saying that some of these aren't legit conspiracy theories, but how many times did JFK get shot?
So that is a real.
That's like a tangible one. Like,
Yeah.
there was like his head went forward first, and then it went back. And
Well,
it really
I'll
should have
tell
just
you
went
what.
back.
I mean,
And this isn't like controversial. Well, it is, but it's not at the same time because I have been at the site. I walked on the spot where he was shot, down in Texas, And they like point out, because it's like a whole museum. They have it up in the building, they have it in the bushes, and then they have what they even think there's a third one like in the crowd or something. And it truly is a mystery because no one knows exactly. You know, like Matt said, was it like the whiplash? You know, that kind of forces
Well, no,
head
it
back.
couldn't have been whiplash. It was 'cause,
Well,
like,
that's
he
not. I
literally-
mean, like the force
Well,
getting shot.
yeah.
Not.
Well, no,
yeah,
but the shot
like,
came this way, and his head goes forward.
That's what I'm saying, but that's the controversy.
Well, I think
So
that
this
the
is-
CIA
That
trained
is the
their
thought
agents
of-
to do the double tap because I think the CIA killed him. I
wow,
don't think
that's
I do.
okay.
Why not?
That's-
I mean, the CIA has done some horrible things all over the world. It's basically the U.S. funded terrorist organization, I think. I mean, you got to see some of this stuff. We used to poison crops in Cuba, poison the livestock. And, well, that's their propaganda because I've seen it. I've read they have museums about how bad America is and what we did to them. And
Well.
I mean, not to mention that every time that we go to war, we always do some kind of false flag operation to get the other team to fire first, so to speak. So then we can go in. Like, why did we go into Afghanistan? It doesn't make any sense. Not for weapons of mass destruction. No one's building those in a cave. It's about oil. In America, because yeah,
Iron Man built
pro
this in a
US
cave with a box of scraps. But to your
and there
point,
goes
I
Brad.
agree. It's like
So this is what I heard recently. Is that so? Like Lee Harvey Oswald connected with JFK like once, so he shot once, missed, and then so there's a Secret Service behind JFK, and so there's like this thing that happens with any type of law enforcement, including like Secret Service. So like they're so trigger happy when they get in their first like encounter that involves discharging their service weapon. So like supposedly sometimes when the first time a police officer or somebody else will like fire their gun, like they won't even get it to pointing at whatever they're shooting at before the clip is empty. So basically the thought is that he shoots at JFK, misses, a Secret Service member pulls his weapon, and as he's like drawing it to return fire, he empties the clip into Kennedy, and then Lee Harvey Oswald shoots him, and that's why he goes back. Because like there's no way. Huh?
That's
From
gross.
the car,
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
car
yeah.
behind him.
Yeah, so like it's the car behind him, like he empties a clip into Kennedy, and then he gets shot from like Lee Harvey Oswald in the like coming forward, and that's why his head goes back. Oh, I just pulled my computer.
well, people say that seems really far fetched though, because if you empty
Yeah.
a clip, man, that's not going to happen in a second. You know, like that's going to take a little bit.
9
Well,
shots.
it's not a machine gun. It's
I
a
know that.
handgun.
Yeah, I know that still
Yeah,
takes
that
time.
would take
to,
even
like, pull the
longer.
trigger.
That would take much longer.
But
I guess it was the
It was
whatever
them
it was.
COD trigger fingers.
Well, I
No,
don't know.
you're trying to
I
get
don't know
it
what
from
type of
here to
guns were
here.
available. No, so it's not necessarily getting to here. It's just like the fact that he like it would happen as he was like drawing, I guess. And I don't know if they had. My guess is probably not fully automatic pistols at the
No.
time. Again, not a gun freak
Not
over
for
here.
Secret Service.
But like he would have like basically shot Kennedy enough that's why he went forward first. And also that it also lines up with the whole idea that there's literally no physical way possible that Lee Harvey Oswald could have shot. I think it was like 3 times in however many seconds it was. Because like they can't even. I don't think they can get a machine to like do it
that's why
with the gun that he had.
That's why I think that my theory is that there were just 2 shooters. You know, one in the bushes on the road, and then up in the building. And to Michael's point, you know, they had to be because that shot that they had to make, you can stand there right from where it was shot, and it's a hell of a shot. Like you got to be a marksman basically to make the shot, and that's why they say, oh, like maybe Matt, you're right. Like he missed the first time, but then someone else shot. You know, so
Wasn't
But-
JFK pissing off a bunch of people in government too? Like, didn't like a
Yeah.
lot of high-ranking officials not like him?
and the other thing, yeah, I did hear
So
that.
everybody was jealous because he was fucking Marilyn Monroe on this side.
And the other theory is like he was kind of like warned about this potential, you know, and he thoroughly like declined not to have the dome around the car, which is like, you know, why would you do that?
I-
Maybe that's just a him thing.
I think
The
it's super
Secret Service
interesting
didn't
that-
want.
I was gonna say, I think it was super interesting that the shooter Harvey Oswald was killed before being able to do anything. Like, I think he got killed for a reason. I don't think it was just some angry civilian that ran up and shot him. I think he was killed because he was probably gonna say too much.
Well, it is Texas. You never know.
Okay, so I have. Let me show
I
you
agree
this
with you,
picture. This picture is from the angle of the shooter from the building, and you can see where the cars are on the road. They kind of
The second car.
they actually have an X on the road where he was shot, which is really interesting. Oh, you can see it if I zoomed in.
Yeah, that would not be easy.
Yeah.
Cars
So
going
just
what, like 10, 15 miles per hour.
For people
Yeah.
just listening, how far do you think that shot is?
Oh, geez.
Like,
Football field.
that
I
looks
assume
like a
probably a
football
couple
field.
hundred yards
Yeah.
at least 100 yards.
I mean, which back then with the types of guns that they had and having to
moving.
gauge the angle, like
Yeah.
the
Angle at that distance, I feel like wind. I mean, modern day snipers nowadays even have to take into account like the rotation of the Earth because of how
That's like a mile out.
yeah, those are really
still,
far shots.
but like that's just a really good shot to do.
Yeah, exactly.
For
That's why.
anybody. I'm not saying what he did or didn't do was a good thing, obviously, but from a purely objective standpoint, impressive. I guess
It's like a hell of
far
a
as the
shot. Yeah, that's what people
goes.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Michael, you were right. It was like an outside of Dallas because I remember we had to take a train to the site. But
What's the whole deal about the magic bullet? Isn't there like something where the bullet bounced around the side of his body and that explains what?
it's something to
Does
do,
something-
I think, with like what Matt talked about is why his body reacted the way it did.
Physics don't make any sense.
Because I think like with his blood splatter and other stuff like that, it just really it was a mystery almost to like authorities to find out like what the hell happened.
Basically, Jordan, I don't know about the whole magic bullet thing or whatever. All I know is that so the shot
Went the
comes
opposite way and he-
at him
And he moves forward.
falls forward.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Brad will
What
join
happened to
us in a sec. Oh, Michael's also
Definitely-
gone.
Okay, and Brad's probably going to pop off here in a moment.
Brad will be back. I think his computer's just frozen on the restart.
We love that still. That's just great for the brand. I don't know.
So,
Everybody, let's go around and give a caption to that still.
what still?
Oh, I got a poop.
Can you see Brad?
No, I see two rotating cubes.
Oh, Michael must be
look-
loading back in.
It looks like he just sat down on the toilet.
Brad's computer restarted. So
That's okay.
Here, I'll take a picture of it if it'll stay.
Excellent.
I'm
Well,
gonna go
he's
ahead.
gone.
when you
I
get
don't
to the
think that-
final ring in Fortnite and get built upon and die,
It's good.
I
that's
don't
my
think.
caption for Brad.
I don't think that Brad is real. I think he was a government drone all 4 years.
He was.
Yes.
That's a big
Wait,
conspiracy.
what's a
No.
conspiracy theory that he likes?
Uh,
Well, so he brought up the lizard people. So when we won't talk about the lizard people,
Okay.
Okay.
that's a good one.
Oh, you're talking caption.
Like,
Sorry.
captioning, yeah, because he was like frozen.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, damn.
Well, I have a few random
Yeah, throw 'em
theories.
out.
There's
Let's
one
hear him,
that's-
dude.
Okay. Space is fake. Space is a hologram.
All right,
Those are
okay,
two
go to the
fun
next one.
People who speak Italian change their DNA over time by speaking it. The language somehow causes genetic changes, which could be true because all the Italians, they talk with their hands. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. Not really good or bad, just interesting. And then these final two are crazy. There's something called pancreas denial, and it's not that you're denying that you have a pancreas. It's saying that the pancreas is actually your third chakra, if you believe in like all the crystals and shit. And people will intentionally, like the elites, intentionally try to flood that with toxins and even have it removed so then you can't reach your like enlightenment in I don't know. This is what I read. Yes, your pancreas is actually a chakra. It's like the pineal gland. It does something in your body that's like spiritual and can help you transcend reality and go see the clock. I don't know. And the final one is, to me, really interesting because I remember way back. Who remembers the game RuneScape?
Oh yeah,
right.
That's
so
classic.
fun.
So
I played it.
There's a theory that says that RuneScape was actually created by the feds to be a not quite post-apocalyptic, but imagine that society had to rebuild itself, and now you're back in like the feudal era. RuneScape is a model of New York City in a time frame like that. And hear me out. So in the game, it has an underground transport network. There's different districts. There's different and a ton of different diversity as New York is. And in the game itself, there is a series of jobs and things that you can do. However, it seems like the more successful people are the ones that play the stock market. And as we know, Wall Street in New York. So think about it. Maybe that's a model to see how people would react once the lights turn off and they don't turn back on.
Mike, did you play RuneScape?
I watched it from a lot of friends.
I played.
I never played it, but it's reading. I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, that game existed.
I don't know. I only got around like the first couple parts of the game. It seems kind of a stretch, but there is like a society, like a culture inside that game that's different and weird.
Yes,
it's interesting.
I got scammed my first 3 minutes on there as like a 5-year-old.
Good.
Well, if you guys, this is more of a less intense theme, but it's more like there's some really good Disney fan theories out there about Disney movies, and I thought we'd talk about a couple ones that I thought really interesting. I remember reading back, we were probably in college when I first read about it, but that Anna and Elsa, in Frozen, their parents go off to sea, right? They supposedly crash, die, their ship goes. Well, it's a theory that they actually flew or like sank or swam all the way. Their shipwreck went basically at the jungle. Forget all that. They wash up on shore. It's Tarzan. And Tarzan's real parents are actually Anna and Elsa's parents as well. So Tarzan and Anna Elsa are all siblings. And the reason some people think this is, well, it's pretty much that the director kind of has it in his head. That's kind of like the headcanon, because he actually talked about it a little bit. But there are like timeline issues because like Frozen is supposed to be like Scandinavian, and it's supposed to happen like the early 1800s, where Tarzan's kind of like late Renaissance era, which is like late 1800s. Not Renaissance, but something
Close
like that.
enough.
So I just really
Industrialization era.
I have that in my head canon that Anna and Elsa and Tarzan are all siblings.
I like the theory that Boo from Monsters Inc. is actually the witch from Brave.
Yeah,
because she has the little wooden puppet thing of what is his name?
Well, and she like connects all
Sully.
the Pixar stuff
Sully.
yeah.
Because she can time travel and do everything else.
through the doors.
Mm-hmm.
I like
those. Those are fun.
Yeah, they're fun to think about.
Is Lightning McQueen someone in a car, or a car that's alive?
He's a car that's
It's
alive.
a car that's alive.
There's some
the world of
theories
cars.
about, but hear me out. So
They're like a super race that come along after people die. I think that's kind of a.
I just
this
think
after
they're. I
Wall-E?
just think they're in their own.
Oh,
Now that I love.
I think so. I don't remember. I haven't looked at that thing like in a while. There's like, I guarantee you, it's like on Reddit or whatever.
There's like
It's
a
like
30-minute. There's a 30-minute video on YouTube you can watch.
Yeah, that too. And it all tracks. I mean, like it's ironclad. Like there really are not a lot of holes that you can poke through it, besides the fact that you just want to shit on people's parade, and be like, no, this isn't real. Like, I mean, clearly it like there's definitely enough crossover, and I mean, I don't really think any of the timelines like don't cross up the right way. So like, there's no reason it wouldn't work, basically. But if you just want to be like, oh, it's not real, then you can like do that and be a shitty person who hates life and things that are
Well,
cool.
neither is space, but I still believe in it. So, or birds. So whatever, man.
Ooh, speaking of space, y'all think we went to the moon?
Yes,
I
Yeah.
hope so. Yes.
100%.
But I-
No, we
yeah,
faked
I-
it. We
I-
faked it on Venus.
we were actually on
don't-
Mars.
I don't think it's ludicrous to think that they staged that though.
There is a good argument.
It's not
I think we've
necessarily
been
like
there,
an,
but
yeah, I think we've been there too. But I like you could. It's not like it wouldn't have been that difficult to do. It's just the only issue with it is that there would have been so many people involved. It would have
That
been
knew
very
about it.
difficult to keep it like under wraps.
yeah.
I watched a
that's
video
some-
though saying that it would have been more expensive to fake it than it would have been to just go there because the
Probably
technology
to pay
needed.
people off.
Well, that and like they talking about the types of cameras that they had back then weren't good enough to make it believable or something. There's a video on like de facto proof of
I mean,
like,
it's a
why.
fact
Yeah.
Visual effects were not what they were until they reached, gosh, even the late 70s. So, no. We were on the moon. is my
I believe so,
opinion.
too. You guys know? Have you ever seen the loneliest picture ever taken?
Oh,
Yes.
I've heard of that.
It's the picture of the third guy that went on the mission. I can't
Mike
remember his name.
Collins.
Mike Collins, when he was still orbiting the moon. So he had a picture of the moon and the Earth, and had a picture of every a person in the world besides him in it.
Did
It
you
was like
say
really, it was kind of sweet.
you mean
Every human person.
Phil Collins?
Every human being.
And all the lizard people.
Oh, I just spilled beer. That's great.
Dude, oh my
BRB.
god. I just watched a movie. I forget what it was called. And also, I think this is a theory. The moon itself is artificial, and it's been placed there by some higher power or like
Wow.
advanced alien race to watch us. Now, hear me out. Okay. So it's the moon's quite special because it seems like it almost has to be there. And the way things that line up don't really, I mean, it's a hell of a coincidence. So the moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but it's 400 times as far
Are you
away.
on iFunny? Are you on iFunny? Because you've brought up two things that I saw today on iFunny, and this is the
No,
second one.
our phones are listening to us. We know that.
They are.
Government, hello, all the
That's
thousands-
not
we
a
have-
conspiracy theory.
But please continue with that because this little thing is kind of cool.
But so that's why they appear to be relatively the same size in the sky. Don't stare at the sun, but take my word for it. And then that's why when you have like a total solar eclipse, when the moon goes in front of the sun, it covers it up perfectly. Even though they're
Right.
obviously two different sizes.
But isn't that
So
like
they think,
No, continue.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. yeah, but like the moon, it seems like somebody manufactured it to be that way. I don't
But
know.
how would you manufacture something? Isn't something smaller when you're further away from it?
Yeah, so the sun's further away.
Right. So then I feel like the moon can then cover it.
Yeah,
but I'm
he's
saying-
it's so perfect that it can't be coincidence.
Okay. You're like
it's
a
so
lunar
perfect.
eclipse is bullshit. Is what you're saying.
I mean,
The moon's
no,
fake.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if I hold a baseball in front of my the sun, it'll cover it.
Yeah,
but,
that's
like,
that okay. You just mean it's so perfect. It's the perfect
it's so
shape.
perfect.
Well, the
It's
water
all-
benders during they're at their peak.
It's made of cheese.
Even if it's not fake, nature's weird and beautiful. And
That is
from
true.
what I saw today, it's the only it's the only moon that we know of that is
We live in a
the
simulation.
same size as we are the distance from sun.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
But then,
We
so
do.
what do we think about, speaking of other nature and phenomenons, not to get spoopy, but like
They're
ghosts
real.
and supernatural type of stuff?
It's lightning
So-
outside, and I'm about to get the chills on. So let's talk about ghosts.
Let's get
I
the
fucking
chills
love
on.
No, I won't fuck with Ouija boards.
I'm seeing Halloween stuff in stores now, so
What are you guys thoughts on skinwalkers?
They're
Excuse me?
fucking creepy, and deer disease is a real thing.
Mac goes,
Pardon you?
excuse me.
What?
You don't know what a skinwalker is?
I've been to Skinwalker Ranch.
Allow me to explain.
I mean, I know that
Aliens.
Jeffrey Dahmer killed people and skinned them, but outside,
No.
Nope.
I mean, I've seen the movie.
Skinwalkers are Nature
Silence of the
Red-
Lambs, where Buffalo Bill was trying to make a skin suit out of the
Explain.
Not
Brad.
even close to
women
what,
that he
yes.
killed.
Skinwalkers are
All
evil.
right, so
nature
enlighten
spirits.
me. Enlighten me.
Dude, we're trying. So a skinwalker is a creature out in nature, typically in a very isolated area, and the most common occurrence of like people claiming to come into contact with them is out in the woods by themselves or out in the desert by themselves, and they'll start to hear some sort of human yell or voice that mimics a voice that you're very familiar with, or it'll say something like help or something specific enough to get your attention. And it's not necessarily something that can chase you down, so it has to be able to lure you in with whatever call it chooses to use. It's like, and then as people get closer, it's supposed to look like have this like humanoid form, but it still can't move. It's like very stationary. So they're pretty creepy.
They're really big in Native American culture, I'm pretty sure, and like they viewed them as like shapeshifters as well. So like they could look like humans,
Yeah.
but most of the time their normal form
It's
is
like
like an animal.
It's like a Wendigo, kinda.
Yeah,
That's a Wendigo is more like what Jordan was describing, but Skinwalker. I mean, like there's some overlap there.
I know what a
interesting.
Wendigo is.
I wish we had it. We'd do a podcast just on ghost stuff. I fucking love ghost stuff.
Oh,
I feel
we
like we
will.
definitely
Save that
will.
for.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Yeah.
ever heard of Black Eyed Kids?
Sounds terrifying. No.
So
You mean Furby and
well, not Black Eyed Peas.
Will I am.
No, but what they are is kind of like
I'm a bee. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm a bee.
they kind of take the same route as not like a demon, but not like a spiritual or anything, like more like nature, sort of like out in like the desert is where I've heard like most of the stories about them. But they'll come up to your door and like knock on your door, and they have to be let in. They're kind of like vampires, and they're just children, or like supposedly they look like children. But the only noticeable difference is they have like deep black eyes and they're like pale, kind of like look like the Grudge.
Why are you letting this person in your house?
Right. No, I listened to like a horror podcast, and there was one story where they were like a couple teenagers were at a gas station late at night somewhere like Arizona, something like that, in the desert, and they had to go through like a lonely highway back home. And they were leaving the gas station, they were driving, and they saw this child on the side of the road. And they knew it looked weird, and it was like looking at them but not saying anything. And as they're driving, they see the kid again, like a mile or two down the road ahead of them, and they're like, "Okay, what the hell is going on?" So they speed up, but then it changes forms and starts chasing them at like 60 miles per hour.
I'll pass.
That could also be a skinwalker
Can
too.
stay in the road.
I think I'm going off the beaten path on that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I
it
used
could
to be
all just-
super irrationally afraid of?
Grapes.
Chupacabras. Well,
Just kidding.
Have you ever heard of the Jersey Devil?
yeah.
Isn't that a hockey team?
Yeah, the Blue Devils.
Sports.
No, but it's like
Thank you,
like
Michael.
it's like a chupacabra, but like a shit ton of people in like downtown, I think it was Jersey, saw it and it would like go into people's houses and like tear shit up and mess things up. It was probably like a feral cat or something, but
It's the Guidos. New Jersey.
Brad has some really good.
Oh God,
horror
it's
stories.
Snooki.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember
She's
how
still
Chupacabras
alive.
from like Scooby Doo. I feel like from that one episode. So
Scooby Doo is
Let's
why
all
we're
take a
doing this
moment to
podcast.
pray that James Gunn and the rest of the cast are allowed to make that R-rated third film.
Oh, that would be awesome. I
It'd
would
be
love that.
amazing, baby.
That'd be pretty cool. If you ever want to get spooky, though, ask Brad about his buddy's haunted house.
Oh,
He had to stay the night in. There was like a bar and a couch or something there. Remember that story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
any spoopy stories, we should save them.
We'll
For-
say
Yeah,
for
I
a
think
scary
we save them
pod.
for like Halloween.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm excited
Devil's
for that
Night.
one.
That's what we'll save it for.
Me too.
I have a question, could be the closing question
Sure.
about conspiracy theories. It's kind of out there. Would you rather have no conspiracy theories be real and just what you see is what you get, or have every conspiracy theory be real?
All of them.
That's not fair, because like anybody can come up with a stupid conspiracy theory. and
Well,
then
no,
just
I'm
have to be
talking like
real.
the big ones, like.
Okay,
like
no, that's. I just wanted to make sure
everything.
there was that stipulation.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
want
not
them
like
all to be real. I want them all to be
not
real.
like
if that's a
gravity
stipulation.
doesn't exist, like things that you can prove, but like the government's run by lizards. Joe Biden eats tires. I don't know. Fuck. We went to the moon.
I got a dick in my head.
Yes, you do. 5G gives people coronavirus.
I'm gonna stick. I don't want.
Coronavirus.
There it is. I'm gonna go with. I prefer none of them to be real. Just keep it simple.
You're no. Fun.
I'd much rather have them
I'm
all
boring.
be real.
That takes the fun out of it.
Yeah,
I feel like-
Sorry.
And honestly, I feel like I wouldn't want to know one way or the other.
That's That's a good
would-
point.
But we don't.
It
Well,
takes
it's
all the wondering takes all the fun, or is like all the fun.
See, but then
I'd
does it
much
become
rather
like
know.
a conspiracy theory? Is it like if we say they're not real, like is it just even a thing? Like is it just not in our minds? Like it would never cross our minds. Or if it is real, it's just like, oh, like it's just we see a dog, like that's normal. Like we see a Wendigo, that's normal. You know, so
Sick.
it's like
That'd be awesome.
what's the perspective of the world? I guess.
So like it's just it's the same world, but it's just like most conspiracy theories, it's either they're all completely untrue, which is why I guess they're called conspiracy, where it's off the beaten path of what's considered acceptable, versus a world where they're not true in that world, versus one where all the same theories exist. But people will fight, people will deny, people will agree. But it turns out that they're all true. And everything that we've ever seen and experienced is manufactured and different in some way than the way they want it to be portrayed to us. Reality is not what it seems, and the only way to get the microchips out of your skin is to use sandpaper and just take it off.
Just to drink
Paper and
gasoline.
a screwdriver.
Wow, I think this should be a topic that we follow back on because it's almost endless.
It's very broad, and I feel like we could talk for a very long time about it. But
And I think we were very broad throughout the.
it ranged a lot. I will say, I don't think
We missed some
organized it
topics
too
for
much.
sure,
Yeah,
but-
for sure. Like Michael said, this is a good one to bring back up and kind of talk about again. And I'm sure 2 months, 3 months, a year from now, there'll be more to talk about. So more new ones.
For sure.
Well, hopefully, all like the UFO stuff starts getting more declassified.
Maybe it just happens.
No, they're gonna fake an alien invasion. It's gonna be a bunch of method actors in green skin suits, like running around.
Like, okay, how
shooting
cool would it
people.
have been if we had been doing this when the the desert event happened?
A storm area
Roswell?
51.
Storm Area 51. Like, how cool? Like, we could have talked about that. That would have been awesome.
40s?
No.
That would have been sick.
We had podcasts in the 40s. We'd be rich people. This is a computer.
Yeah.
I'm a computer.
Yeah. What if we did a live podcast from Area 51 during the storm of Area 51?
Sick.
We're here!
Feet on the ground.
I think the amount of people that allegedly showed up to that, I'm pretty sure the government could have stopped everyone in the first 100 yards.
Well, that's the difference between that and what happened on January 6th, because people actually invaded an actual building. But we won't get into that.
Well, I think Area 51 would be a lot harder than the White House. It's in the middle of the desert.
I would sure hope so.
Capital.
Well, all right, guys. Well, this has been fun. If anyone has any final words, but
Bigfoot's real. Pigeons aren't. Tupac's not dead. And
Tupac's definitely dead.
and this is the
He's on Epstein
MOBcast.
Island.
And they replaced Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, no, she's dead.
Thank you, guys.
Bill, Bill. My knee.
What's that sound? What's that sound?
It's the MOBcast.